LDW MMA This is your boy, the coach. You're live on the Coach's Show, live. All right, guys, the coach is taking his walk, his cool down left. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? After this video, I'm going to do another video, and I'm cooking Daniel Cormier's ass. I'm cooking his ass. DC said something in round 2 during this fight that I'm trying to keep it together. But I'm cooking his ass. I'm cooking his ass, him, and his butter boy. I'm cooking Daniel Cormier's ass, seriously. But let's talk about the fight. Was Dione Barbosa robbed? Yes. Now, let me give you some story, y'all. Let me give y'all a backstory, okay? Female fighters, okay? I'm going to tell you, in Brazil, when a fighter is Brazilian, female fighter, most of them, not all of them, the majority of Brazilian female fighters and black female fighters, the situation is different. And I'm going to talk about the Brazilian fighters first before I start talking about the actual fight. Brazilian fighters, most of them, they come from nothing. They come from nothing. Like, they don't have a whole lot. When they uproot themselves, come to America, they probably, beg, borrow from anybody they could to help get them here. And then, moreover, they may have a gym that's generous enough to let them stay in one of the rooms in the gym, okay, to help them out with housing. Because coming to America is much more expensive than living in Brazil. I don't know if y'all know that, but it's much more expensive to live in America than it is Brazil. And so, there are things you need. But these fighters, most of the Brazilian women, they're coming from nothing. They don't have anything. And I'm going to tell you, boy, if y'all will understand some of the conditions in Brazil, some of the shit that these women have to go through, and people always say, Coach, why do you support a lot of Brazilian females? Because I understand what they go through. And moreover, some of these women, they got to open their legs, man, to get up in some of these gyms because they ain't got no money. And I'm just telling y'all real talk, this is what happens over there. Sometimes they got to open their legs to get trained because they ain't got the money. And they just have to deal with the shit until they make enough money to, either, move to America or do whatever. But it's not the same thing. When you see a Brazilian fighter get to the UFC, the struggle a lot of times been real. And I'm talking about when they're in Brazil and they're getting started. They're trying to make a name for themselves. And they ain't got a lot of money. They have to take these fights. They got to take a lot of garbage fights, man. They got to take these fights. And sometimes the opponents be 20, 30 heavier pounds than some of these women. But they got to take the fight because if they don't take the fight, they can't make the money. And then here's another thing. Some of the gyms that these women that they train in, not only do they have to open their damn legs, in some cases, not all, open their damn legs to get trained, okay? When they do get the money, the fight promoters, they cut the check to the gym because the gym operates as a manager as well. They cut the check, they pay the money to the gym. Then the gym give the damn female fighters a measly percentage of it, while the gym keep the lion's share. Man, I've heard so many female Brazilian fighters tell me this story over and over and over, that the gym is like a family atmosphere to them, and you trust your family. So these these gym owners, they go in, they act as managers, and they take these fighters' money. So much shit going on in Brazil. So when I look at Dione Barbosa and Karine Silva, I know they may not have went through all the struggles that I've described, but they went through some of them. And for these judges to get this wrong, it has to stop. When I talk about black female fighters here, in America, MMA is expensive. And see, in our culture, we're told basketball, football, volleyball, soccer, those are the sports. MMA is not really a black American female pastime. It's just not. Black American females, they're not doing MMA, okay? Just what it is. I mean, look at MMA as a whole spectrum. How many black American females do you see in the fight game? It's not a lot. So, when you do see black American females in MMA, they got another job. Because MMA is so expensive here, they have another job. They got to use that job to pay for their MMA, pay for their jiu-jitsu, pay for their boxing, pay for the wrestling. They have to pay for sparring partners. Like, MMA in America adds up. That's just what it is. So when these judges go in and get this wrong, and I'm not saying that other fighters, than Brazilian and non-black, I'm not saying that they don't have any struggles, but I'm saying majority. I'm talking overall, okay? When these judges, they get these fights wrong, okay? This fight clearly was wrong, man. First round, you got to be blind and can't see if you did not score round 1 for Dione Barbosa. Dione Barbosa clearly won that round. She put 2 submissions on the girl and then ended with an arm bar and ended on top. I don't know how you don't see that round for Dione Barbosa, okay? Round 2 could have went either way. I gave round 2 to Karine Silva, okay? The commentary, they gave Dione Barbosa round 2, okay? Either way, it was close. Round 3, Karine Silva had one highlight. She put a guillotine. She put a guillotine choke on Dione Barbosa. Dione Barbosa got up out of there and spent the majority of the time on top and had the more ground control. I don't see how you can't score round 3 for Dione Barbosa. It's crazy. But it has to stop, man. This shit got to stop. Because now, okay, it's not like Dione Barbosa and Karine Silva. They're not making a lot of money, y'all. When a fighter make it to the UFC, they made it. But that beginning pay, when you're on prelims or early prelims, you ain't making no damn money. And honestly, the money that they're probably going to make, probably barely enough. And then if you're saying, well, Karine Silva got 6 figures. Well, okay. But she only going to see, if she made 100,000, she only going to see about 30 to 25,000. That's about all she going to see. A lot of that money is going out. She got to pay a lot of that money out to people. And folks, that means that the judges, they got to get it right. I've told y'all for years that former fighters, you got a lot of former fighters that ain't got no job. Former fighters trying to make ends meet. A lot of former fighters sitting around on Skid Row. They need to hire some of these people, man, to judge fights. Okay? To me, the only people who should be judging fights are former fighters, trainers, or referees. That's it. Because they know what submissions are. They know what an effective jab is. They know what an effective strike is. They know. They know how to score a fight effectively. You know, most of the judges that you see their names, they've never laced up a pair of gloves. They've never been in an octagon. They don't know what an omoplata is. They don't know what a rear naked choke is. They don't know what a triangle is. They don't know what a Taniashi is. They don't know what any of these moves are. They don't know. And they couldn't even recognize the moves. They couldn't. They couldn't recognize the moves anyway. Couldn't tell you what they are. And it's bad because these athletes, these world-class athletes, they got to be judged by somebody who ain't never fought before. It's criminal. It's criminal, and these fighters deserve better. It's criminal, and the fighters deserve much better than what's going on. That's just what it is. These fighters deserve better. And the commission, they can do better. They can do better. They're choosing not to. These fighters are being robbed. Now, what's this mean for Dione Barbosa? Do you think she's going to get closer to a title shot now? Nah. Because judges got it wrong. For Karine Silva, it's going to be good. But in the minds of the fans, she lost the fight. So it's still bad for Karine Silva because you know why? I guarantee you it's not going to put her any closer to the title. Because when Dana White, Nick Mann, and Sean Shelby, they look at the fight, look at the video, look at the replay, they're going to be like, she ain't ready for no title shot. And she's not popular enough anyway. She ain't making enough noise. We ain't going to put her ass in there. We ain't going to put her ass in there. No. We'd be a fool to put her in there. So it don't do much for Karine Silva either. Not as much. But Dione Barbosa, it don't do a lot for her at all. They're not making a lot of money, y'all. They're not. And I have to put that out there. You know, when I first started watching mixed martial arts, I'm thinking, damn. Oh, they in the UFC, man. They making good money. Nope. I had to be educated real quick. Coach, they ain't making no money. They're not making a lot of money. So now that this has happened, Dione Barbosa going to have to fight 3 or 4 fights, y'all. At least 3 or 4 fights to even get close to even, thinking about having a title shot. It sets you back. And this the kind of stuff that just need to go. This the kind of stuff that need to go, man. And judges, I've always said the judges, they're too damn accessible. Anybody can pay these people off, man. And judges, they don't make a whole lot of money per fight either. But see, some judges, it's a part-time gig for them. Some judges, this is all they do because every weekend they judging fights. Some judges, they judge boxing, they judge MMA. Even some of these same judges, they judge Muay Thai. They get paid the same rate no matter what. And some of these judges, they judging fights damn near every weekend. Sometimes 2 and 3 bouts on a card. So now when it adds up, and I looked at the going rate for judges, it can be anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 to even $10,000 just for a fight. And if it's championship fight, you can make the $10,000. Well, think if you do that 52 weeks out the year. You can make a pretty decent living being a judge, but there's those times when those judges, you know for a fact, they can't be watching the same fight, man. Who paid these judges? I mean, do these people even judge effective submission control? I feel like they don't judge this. Some of these judges don't even judge body shots. All they do is look at headshot. Like, folks, the whole system need to be revamped.